Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtress Ray, and you're watching Mixtress Video. So today I'm going to do my minor arcana version of my favorite and least favorite of each card. So obviously you can see how long this video ended up being, but it's probably going to be real fucking long, okay? So let's settle in. I've got my Ursula mug full of coffee right here. Yes, so Ursula's blessing this experience. I would like to light a candle, but I don't think I have room to actually have it on the screen. Yeah, I don't think I do. I don't think there's room, but I am going to light this beautiful little tea light candle. Perhaps I will have it in the frame just in the beginning, and then I'll set it off to the side. Okay. Let's light this bitch. You know, let's just set the whole fucking scene. Why not? I'm going to light some incense too. So we're lighting this candle with the intention of distracting ourselves from the American election, which is going to take a while to resolve. Just trying to have some good vibes talking about tarot. So I'm going to talk about, this is our reference point. I'm using the RWS as a reference point. So this will be, and then I'll bring down my favorite card and my least favorite card. I already did this with the major arcana. So if you want to check that out, I have that video too. I'll try to remember to link it in the description below, but I mean, you can just find it on my channel. It's one of my more recent videos. First of all, please appreciate, guys. Oh my God, this took so long to prepare for. So I have my Unfair Comparisons Ultimate video, which has all of my decks at the time. Even though that video I just did like a month ago, I've already gotten a few more decks and gotten rid of a few. So I used that video as comparison so I could look at all of my cards all at the same time. And then I got out my decks that I've gotten since then. So I did just light an incense. You're not going to see it, but I just want you to know that it's here. It's here for you, okay? Setting it on my table. You can't see it, but it's right next to a window. And so I used that as a comparison so I could, and I brought out the decks that I'd gotten since the video, and so I had them sitting in front of me, and I was watching my own video to see like all of my like Ace of Wands at the same time, and all of my, Two of Cups at the same time, and all that shit. So it took like about 2 hours just to decide which was my favorite and least favorite card based on that, doing that process. And then I it took about 2 hours, like an hour and a half or so last night just to gather those cards, because I had written down all the ones that were my favorites and least favorites, so then I had to find them in each of my decks. And now you'll see how long this video is, and it'll take a while to upload too. So this is a time-consuming project, so I understand if no one's going to be doing a VR to this. But if you want to, I would love to see it. Okay, so candle's just not going to be in the shot, unfortunately. Okay, so what I look for in aces. So basically, this is how this is going to go. I'm just going to, you know what? Since I'm just going to do one card at a time, I think. That makes sense to me. And then I actually can get like a little bit closer even. So I'm going to get as close to this imagery as possible. Okay. So what I look for in aces, I'm pretty traditional Rider-Waite-Smith girl on aces. Actually, I really just want a hand coming out of a cloud holding a tool. And it's also a plus if you get to see some scenery in the background. So I picked as my favorite Ace of Wands Modern Witch, because it does that while also having these badass nails. So it's my favorite because it's basically a Rider-Waite-Smith knockoff, but it also has badass nails in it. Okay, so you're going to notice a pattern. A lot of my least favorite cards, spoiler alert, and these are all cards in my collection, by the way. These are decks that I intentionally bought because I like them. I only have 23 decks in my collection, and a few of them I didn't even use as comparisons on this project. Like the Spirit Halloween deck, I was like, pretty much this one's not going to be my favorite or least favorite of any of the cards, so I just didn't compare it. And I didn't compare Gorgon's Tarot as well because it's a circular deck, and it just would have been harder to get it on the screen. So you're going to see a pattern, my least favorite of a lot of cards, and it doesn't mean I dislike this deck, although I am still getting to know it, and I don't know if it's going to be a permanent in my collection. But you're going to see a lot of Hush Tarot cards being in my least favorite category throughout this video, and it doesn't mean I don't like the deck. It's just basically the explanation for most of the times you're going to see a Hush Tarot card. It's going to be in my least favorite card because I don't think a lot of the artwork actually matches the feeling of the card itself, even though the artwork is beautiful. I love the artwork. First of all, this one is it's bothering me just in general because this person's ear, the top of it is at like the bottom of their eyeball. I guess that's not completely wrong. But no, because my ear, I'm like touching my face right now. My ear is at the level of like my eyebrow. Isn't that normally the case? Maybe it's just like an angle. Anyway, I'm not going to critique this person's art because I do think it's beautiful. I bought this deck for a reason. But it's my least favorite Ace of Wands because I don't see what this has to do with Ace of Wands. So there you go. Okay. Two of Wands. So what I look for in a Two of Wands, I don't necessarily have to see like the world in the hands, but I do like that aspect. I do like the thought of like this person's standing in a familiar space, I would say, and they're looking out onto the world and they're deciding what to do next, and they have so many options. So I like to see that sort of realm of possibility somehow, at least. And so I picked as my favorite from Darkwood Tarot this beautiful witch who is holding a world in her hands. And then I picked as my least favorite Two of Wands from Santa Muerte, simply because, and again, no shade against Fabio Lastrani. I love the Santa Muerte Tarot. I love it a lot. And I understand that there's some of the symbolism that triggers me in the Santa Muerte deck, like this one. Anytime I see a gun, it's triggering for me, and I don't like it. But that doesn't mean that it's ineffective to someone else. This could be a perfect Two of Wands to someone else. But I personally don't like to see guns. So that's really the only reason for that. Three of Wands. So with the Three of Wands, I want to see a portal. I see it as like you have accomplished these three things and you put them together and you built a portal in that you're about to step through into your next phase of your goals and your journey. And the reason why I think that, I mean, I pretty much see the Three of Wands as a portal card because of the Wild Unknown. So this is my favorite Three of Wands because in my head, I always imagine this card because you have built this yourself and the realm of possibilities that you're about to step through is huge. This is my least favorite Three of Wands from Moonchild Tarot. You need to remember to like put this one as far to the left as possible just in case you get a big ass card. Okay. The reason I like the imagery, there is the portal aspect that I like to see in a Three of Wands. The three wands are here, but I don't like the fact that there's two figures that are essentially just a duplicate of one figure. I don't like that. It doesn't make sense to me. I think there should be three figures if there's going to be, especially if it's going to be a copy of one person. I think there needs to be three figures in this card. It just confuses me. Like, numerologically, I guess I am kind of stuck on numerology. Like, decks that don't... One of the reasons why Hush Tarot kind of doesn't work for me is because you don't get, like, in a Four of Wands in the Hush Tarot, you don't actually get 4 wands. That's just not going to happen. So what I'm looking for, I don't have to see, like, a party actually happening, but I want to get, in the Four of Wands, I want to get the feeling that something is celebratory. I want to get a fire element and a celebratory or ceremonial element. So my favorite Four of Wands is actually from Raven's Prophecy Tarot, because I just love this. Like, for me, ceremony has always been hanging out alone in my bedroom ever since I was a preteen, lighting candles, doing tarot readings. I used to call it, like, even though I realized that fairy circle means something else, I used to call it a fairy circle whenever I was, like, preteen and teen. I would create a circle of candles in the middle of my bedroom floor and just, try to read tarot and do other magic-y things. My least favorite is Dark Wood Tarot from Dark Wood Tarot, because, and I've explained before how I feel about this card, it's just, I don't get how a troll under a bridge says anything about celebration, I don't get a party atmosphere at all. Okay, Five of Wands. Basically, I just want to see, and I'm going to be repeating myself a lot for my unfair comparisons video, the ultimate unfair comparisons video. What I want to see in a Five of Wands is I want to see, like, RuPaul Untucked action. I want to see, like, people yelling at each other. I want to see bitch, I'm from Chicago, I want to see that, like, sort of petty fighting. So my favorite is from Dark Wood Tarot, because these little guys, they're so tiny and they're fighting over this mushroom, and, like, their world is so small, but it feels big to them. And so I just think this is, and they're so cute, but, like, their anger feels big, but they look so cute, So that gives me the right feeling for Five of Wands. And my least favorite is from Moonchild Tarot. Again, because I'm a numerology person, and seeing 3 figures in a 5 card is just, I can't with it. Like, I'm glad that Danielle Noel added 5 wands in the card. I'm glad that they're there, but that helps a little bit. But I don't even get how these 3 figures at all symbolize a 5 of Wands feeling, even. Sometimes I think, I don't know, I probably shouldn't say that. I'm just gonna not. Okay. Six of Wands. What I like to see in a Six of Wands is seeking validation from others. I like this sort of, like, you're being recognized for something, like your miscongeniality, other people like you. And I like to see sort of an expression on the face that's a little bit like, oh shit, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's like when you get famous, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I want to see a little nod to that. So the perfect Six of Wands to me is Modern Witch, because this chick is a total badass and everyone's celebrating her, and she's got her little victory earrings on, but you can see that she's given a little bit of side eye. She's not completely trusting, and I don't want to think of it as, like, it almost sounds like I don't want to think of it like imposter syndrome. I don't want this to be distrust in herself. I want it to be sort of this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, I've wanted this. This is a victorious moment, but what does it mean? You know? My least favorite is from Moonchild. Again, Moonchild is one of my top 10 favorite decks, so it sounds like I don't like it since I keep showing these cards in my least favorite category. And I don't actually dislike this card. But again, you see two figures, and I don't know why. It's just to make this image symmetrical. And her face is, like, so dissatisfied. Like, I like to see a little, like, tinge of, like, what does this all mean? Like, not total happiness, but not this much despair. This is too much. This is too much despair. Or boredom. That's just, I don't like her expression at all. And that's really the only reason, because this is a beautiful image. In fact, I'm just like, oh, wow, so pretty right now, even, but. Okay. Seven of Wands. I said many times before, for me, Seven of Wands is a Slayer card. It's about standing up for yourself, and it's about, specifically, because I'm a Buffy the Vampire Slayer nerd, check out my podcast. It's called What's This Bitch Talking About? It's Buffy Recap Podcast. Mostly. Although it didn't start that way, so if you start at the beginning, it's not going to be about Buffy for a while. I specifically think of Faith, the Vampire Slayer, when I think of Seven of Wands, because she was someone that, like, no one trusted. No one, but she had to fight for everything that she had. And so my very favorite is from Mystic Mondays. I just want to imagine the person in the Seven of Wands as being a Slayer. And for me, this one is the ultimate. It's definitely some Slayer action right here. My least favorite is from That 90s Tarot, and I will be showing several of That 90s Tarot cards throughout this video in my, like, least favorite card. And basically that's just because this is a very Marseille Pip style deck, which, if you don't know what that means when people say that, it just means that there's no illustration here. It's just Seven Wands. And I'm totally fine with that, except I feel like there needs to be a slight nod to the symbolism. So the only thing you would have had to do is put one of the Seven Wands up here, separating them from the rest. And that would have been enough symbolism to portray a Seven of Wands. It wouldn't have made it my favorite Seven of Wands, but it would have, it's just a bundle of sticks, you know? And it seems like it was intentional that the bundle of sticks are all bunched together at the bottom of the card, but why isn't there one? I mean, that's the whole thing with the Seven of Wands. There's one wand against six. So all you'd have to do. Yeah, anyway, that's why it's my least favorite. Eight of Wands. I'm pretty simple as far as, like, what I want to see in the Eight of Wands. I just want to see movement. I just want to see movement. And most Eight of Wands do that. But my favorite is from Raven's Prophecy, because I like to see movement and intention, sort of like a conjuring, like you put this movement into place. You don't really get that with the RWS. You can't tell that you put this into place, but here you can, because they're arrows. So you can imagine that you set those arrows in motion. And my least favorite is from Hush Tarot, just because there's just no movement at all happening in this card. She's sleeping. There's some horses down here. Maybe they're moving. I don't know. And there's some birds. I don't know. Just doesn't do it for me. Nine of Wands. I actually don't really like the RWS depiction of the Nine of Wands, because, I mean, I get this whole, you're almost there and you're kind of extra defensive about where you are because you're so close. So I can work with it, but I don't prefer it. What I actually want to see is just based on the fact that this is the first Nine of Wands from Wild Unknown that really clicked for me. Because 9 is my favorite number. So numerologically, I want to see good things in 9 cards, you know, because it's my favorite number. And so I really like this Nine of Wands from Wild Unknown because it looks like you're on a staircase. You do have a bit to go, and it's going to be difficult because, you got to step on all these little sticks. But you're almost there. You can see the end. And I like that. My least favorite Nine of Wands is from Darkwood Tarot. And this is just simply based on the fact that this guy scares the crap out of me. I don't like it. And I don't see how that relates to the Nine of Wands. Like, this person's beckoning you and they're gonna, like, I don't know, scratch their nails into your chest or something. Like, this is a horror movie moment, and I don't think of the Nine of Wands as a horror movie moment. And I'm a huge fan of horror movies too, by the way. So horror movie moments are definitely okay in the tarot, just not in the Nine of Wands. In the Ten of Wands, I want to see a sense of, you got this, but it's pretty overstimulating, basically. And I've said this before, but Shadowscapes is my favorite because you can see that she's got a lot. She's got a lot. She's carrying so much, but you don't feel like she's going to drop it at all. And I just think it's very powerful. My least favorite Ten of Wands is from Hush Tarot, and I like this image. But personally, the way that Jeremy Hush depicts cats in this deck, it almost seems like he doesn't like cats. And this is kind of the least egregious example of that in this deck. But, yeah, almost every time there's a cat in a card, it's like cats wearing masks or cats betraying people or cats lording over people in this case. It doesn't say Ten of Wands to me at all. At all. Why did I say it like that? Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is another Slayer card for me. In particular, Page of Wands is Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, in my personal view of tarot. And I mean, it's just associations that I made kind of early on. Page of Wands is a Slayer card to me. It's somebody that is at the beginning of their journey, learning how to use their tools, and they're just slaying all day. And I actually don't really like the RWS Page of Wands that much. It's okay. It's just like I think it's just the clothing. The clothing is just too, like, I don't know, formal or something to me. So my very favorite Page of Wands is from Children of Letha, because this Page of Wands looks like the first Slayer, Sanaya. I don't know which way you say it. She was the very first Slayer, and this looks like her to me. And I just love it. And I love that her animal companion is a hyena. My least favorite Page of Wands, I don't actually dislike this card, but it's from Tarot the Cat People. And again, I think the reason that I dislike it is for the same reason that I dislike that one. It's just the clothing is too formal. Like, I think a Page of Wands, since I personally view it as a Slayer, I think you need to be in warrior garb. And this person doesn't look like they can fight anything with all this jewelry on, you know? Sorry, my window's open, and I live like 3 doors down, not even joking, from an elementary school, and they're like at recess right now, so I'm sure you can hear like kids screaming and stuff. That's just the ambiance of Mixtress Video. Knight of Wands. With Knight of Wands, I want to see charisma. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see charisma. I want to see like a figure that I might have a crush on. Basically, I'm not too picky about it. Like, Knight of Wands, I just see as a very charismatic character that, like, you could fall in love with, basically. And I actually don't have a Knight of Wands card that gets to my idea of a perfect Knight of Wands, but I just chose one that I think is just kind of cheeky and cute. So I chose From Nightmare Before Christmas. Because, sure, werewolf could be a Knight of Wands, totally. And my least favorite is from Dark Angels Tarot, just because I feel like they kind of phoned it in with this card. I mean, there's nothing particularly wand-like about this particular knight. It just happens to be a knight on a horse. And they put a wand-like thing in the hand. It's just, I just don't feel like this is really, this doesn't really, just this particular image just doesn't speak to me at all. That's why I chose it as my least favorite. Queen of Wands. I am particular about the Queen of Wands. I just want to see, basically I need to see a badass witch with a black cat. And so pretty much the perfect Queen of Wands to me is from Darkwood Tarot. I really like her. My only gripe with her is that I wish she kind of had a fuller face and curlier hair. Just personally, I like big curly hair, and I'm particularly picky about the Queen of Wands because I see myself as sort of, my moon is an Aries and Queen of Wands is an Aries card. So I see myself in the Queen of Wands. I love that she has all this fire surrounding her and that she's actually holding a wand and she has the black cat. But just aesthetically speaking, I just wish she was a little rounder and had just a little rounder in the hair and rounder in the face. I do like how full her hips are. It's just an aesthetic thing, and also because I think of the Queen of Wands as relating to me, and I do have a lot of roundness. My least favorite Queen of Wands, and you'll see a pattern. I don't really like, there are a few court cards in Santa Muerte Tarot that I like, but for the most part, I just don't like the court cards in Santa Muerte, and one of the reasons is because they don't have any animal companions, and one of the reasons is because the backgrounds, I don't know. I actually don't know how to articulate, but just personally, I don't really like the court cards in Santa Muerte Tarot. So you're going to see them come up a lot when we get to the court cards. King of Wands. King of Wands is another one kind of like Knight of Wands. I want to see someone charismatic. I do like to see a lizard as a companion as well. That said, I picked as my favorite King of Wands someone that does not have an animal companion. Just because I think he's hot, basically. Basically, I picked him because I think he's hot. Yeah, and I like all the sort of molten fire situation here. My least favorite King of Wands is from Hush Tarot. Again, it's just because, how is this a King of Wands? It's part of a woman's face and a tiny bird on a branch. Love the image. I love birds on branches. It's kind of my aesthetic. But I just don't see how this is a King of Wands. Ace of Cups. Again, this is just how I am about aces. I expect to see a hand coming out of a cloud with a cup. One thing that I don't really like about the RWS Ace of Cups is this kind of bird and wafer situation just to me looks like religious symbolism, and I don't like that. And I don't like this W. What's that for? Probably for AE weight, I assume. But I like to see water. I like to see a cup overflowing with water and a hand coming out of a cloud. That's really all I need for the Ace of Cups. I picked as my favorite from Darkwood Tarot because it has the addition of, it kind of confuses me that there's a pentacle in this card. I kind of wish that wasn't there, but we still have the lilies and the water and the overflowing. We have the hand coming out of the cloud. Bonus points for the hand looking real witchy. And it looks like an older person's hand. I like that. I don't love the DW. Again, I don't. It feels like branding to me and it kind of takes me out of it. But I like the addition of seeing a raven in a cups card. My least favorite is, again, from Hush Tarot. I told you there was a pattern. I actually really like this image, and I can work with it as an Ace of Cups, but I don't like the crown. For some reason, seeing crowns and cards bothers me most of the time. Just like that sort of royalty aspect. I don't want to see royalty in my decks. And that's kind of why I bristle at like the more formal looking clothing in some court cards, especially in the RWS. I'm not drawn to royalty as a concept. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not personally. Again, it's the same reason why any Hush Tarot card is going to be my least favorite, because how is this Ace of Cups? I can kind of work with it, but still. You guys, I don't know. Do I like Hush Tarot? It almost feels like I don't because of how many I pick as my least favorite cards. Two of Cups. I've said it many, many times. Basically, with Two of Cups, I just want to see preferably a relationship that doesn't look heteronormative, if possible. I love a Two of Cups that's like two animals, a Two of Cups that is, you know, anything that looks like an unconventional relationship. And my very favorite Two of Cups is from Shadowscapes, because it's two women that are also trees. I love it. It's beautiful. I'm just looking at it. It's so beautiful. And then my least favorite Two of Cups, I actually don't this is from That 90s Tarot. I don't really dislike this card, like two cups close to each other. I'm fine with that. I can work with that. But it's just the one that like my eye goes to is like, well, that's probably the least effective in my particular collection. Three of Cups. I want to see a coven in the Three of Cups. I want to see equality and like a coven type atmosphere. I want to see three people sharing a drink together in a very equal way. I don't want to see anyone that seems like more important as the other figures. And I do bonus points if you got mermaid energy in the Three of Cups, and several of my decks do. And this one's Shadowscapes, my very favorite Three of Cups. I love everything about this image. I just wish there were purple in it. That's all. It's my favorite color, and it's not really here at all. My least favorite Three of Cups is from Santa Muerte. And I used to think that it was because there was a dude in the card. But you know what? I'm okay with that, actually. However, what I don't like is that, to me, it seems like the attention is on him. He's at the end of the table. He's got his cup the highest. You know, he's not toasting them on their level. So this to me is like, we're celebrating this guy, which is fine if we're celebrating this guy. That's just not Three of Cups energy to me. So that's why it's my least favorite. Four of Cups. I like to be able to see the possibility of both. It's funny, like what I'm about to say doesn't actually apply to my favorite Four of Cups card, but generally I like to see, you know, the hand coming out of the cloud, you know, the Ace of Cups moment that you're ignoring. I like to see the possibility that maybe the choice should be these three. Maybe it's just like, I actually can't handle anymore and I'm setting a boundary right now. Or you're intentionally like ignoring this one and this is the one you should be looking at. You know, I like to see both of those possibilities. That said, my favorite Four of Cups is from Marigold Tarot. And the reason why I like this is because you get a real feeling of interiority here. You know, this person is looking down, looking away. This could be like the offering of the fourth cup right here in the center with this flower. And these cups are looking away. These cups are intentionally turning away. And I also like that it doesn't matter. Like with the feeling of, with fours, there's so much stability in a four that I feel like it doesn't really matter if any four is reversed or upright. It's the same interpretation to me, even though I don't really read with reversals. I still kind of think about like if I were to read with a reversal, so maybe someday I will. I just don't feel like I'm there yet. But with fours, I think the reversal meaning should be the same as the upright meaning. And because this image looks the same either way you turn it, that it works for me. My least favorite is from Tarot of the Cat People, because I think this person is too despondent for a Four of Cups. Like, this looks more like a Five of Cups moment to me. There's just too much sadness in this. The Four of Cups is about stability of emotion. So it's like, you might be apathetic. It's not necessarily a great feeling. It's not a good or a bad feeling. It's very stable. So she's too sad to me for a Four of Cups. Five of Cups. I really like the traditional symbolism of like, this person is very, very sad. This person is mourning. This person is not seeing the possibilities of the bridge and the water, and all they have to do is turn around towards these upright cups and then walk towards this bridge to go to this civilization. This person is only focusing on what they've lost. I'm curious to know, like, if any of you guys know, what's the symbolism with like one of these pools being green and the other two being red? I've never heard anyone mention that before. Anyway, so I like the aspect of like glass half full versus glass half empty. Like, you're focusing on what's not right, but there actually is hope. So this is my Mystic Mondays is my very favorite Five of Cups, because you literally have an interpretation of like the sun is rising over here and you got these three cups that are half full, and then over here you've got this darkness and these two cups are half empty. Like, just because it's a blue liquid, it's sadder looking, and it's just such a beautiful composition in this image. And like, you can literally see how you can look at these cups. They're all the same amount of full, but you can look at these cups as half full or half empty. You can look at these cups as sunny or dark. It's up to you how you view it. And that is very obvious to me in this very beautiful, simple imagery. I just love this card so much. And my least favorite, again, is from Tarot of the Cat People. And this is just because, I think it's because of their posture. It does say Five of Cups to me, but their posture is kind of, what? We've lost it all. Like, I don't know. I just get like a musical theater moment from this card, and that's not what I want to feel in a Five of Cups. So it's very visceral, instinctual reason for not liking that card for me. Six of Cups. The nostalgia card. I don't need to see two children in a Six of Cups. I just want to see sort of a wistfulness looking at the past. In fact, I would actually prefer to see an adult in the Six of Cups. It could be like with the Modern Witch, where you see an older person, like maybe an aunt, offering a cup to a younger person. That's a really good Six of Cups. But the one I chose as my favorite is from Tarot of the Cat People. I really like how, you know, this person has all of his cups on shelves, and he's sort of like wistfully looking. He's like, to me, I feel like he's taking his little cups off the shelf and he's kind of looking into them and remembering whatever. It's sentimental. This card feels very sentimental. And with the addition of this cat literally looking back, it also kind of adds to that quality. And these little cups might even symbolize cats that he's lost in his life, you know, looking back at them. So I get that sort of wistful, sentimental looking back feeling from this card. So I like it a lot. And my least favorite, again, with Six of Cups, I don't really have least favorites. Like most Six of Cups, I can find a way to make them feel nostalgic to me. So it's not, I don't have specific symbolism that I need to see. So this one just ended up being one of them because it just, this doesn't really say anything to me. So That's from that 90s tarot. Sorry, I didn't say that. Seven of Cups. With Seven of Cups, I like the traditional imagery a lot. I like the idea of like you have all of these possibilities being offered to you. And it's, you know, just having cups with different things coming out of them. Uh, I'm fine with that no matter what. Like a lot of different decks simply draw 7 cups with different things coming out of them, and that's good enough for me. So I picked as my favorite Dark Wood Tarot because not only do we have the little 7 cups with different things coming out of them, but we also have just the bats. I don't know, I feel like I don't fully understand this image, but I like it and it intrigues me. And I kind of want a print of this on my wall or something. Or like a journal. Ooh, that would be cool. If I could get a journal with like this image on the front of it. I guess I could buy a print, like a journal sized, and just glue it to a journal. Ooh, I need to do that. Okay. My least favorite 7 of Cups is from Moon Power, because this is just an upsetting image. Like, she's got a safety pin in her lip, and she's got these like hooks and the 7 cups, and she's just not happy at all. This is not... I want to see daydreaming and possibilities in a 7 of Cups, and none of that is happening here. 8 of Cups. I like the feeling in 8 of Cups of like a Saturn return moment. I also, it is a pet peeve of mine, as you'll see in the one that I chose for my least favorite 8 of Cups. I like to see the cups upright and kind of organized like they are in the RWS. I also love to see an eclipse, if possible, something that shows a passage. I feel like this shows a passage of time. You're like seeing a sun and a moon here, kind of, or an eclipse. I don't know how, there's different ways you can interpret that. But I personally view the 8 of Cups as you're walking away from something that it's time to walk away from. But it's not entirely bad. What you're leaving is not entirely bad. It could even be a Rumspringa moment where you're walking away for now, but you might choose to come back. I don't want to see like destroyed cups. So my favorite 8 of Cups is from Mystic Mondays, because first of all, I just think this is a beautiful image, but I also see that, you know, her possibilities, she's got a lot of possibilities and she needs to move. Like either she can jump into this unknown abyss, or she can choose to go towards these cups that she already knows, or she can choose to go towards these cups that she already knows. She has choices, but she knows she needs, I don't know, for me, it seems like the obvious choice is that she jump into that abyss, that she just let go. And I don't know, it's a different way to see the 8 of Cups, and I just really like it. My least favorite is from Wild Unknown, and it's just because these cups are all broken and overturned. I would have been okay to see a couple of them broken and overturned, but not all of them, because the way that I view 8 of Cups, like I said, is you're walking away from something that either has not been entirely bad for you or isn't currently entirely bad for you. You know? It's not, you're not walking away from something awful, but you're walking away anyway because it's time, you know? That's just how I view it, though. Obviously, you know, you could view it however. I think it's good that this card exists, because some people probably do view 8 of Cups as it's time to go right now and it's unavoidable. And sometimes you need that kick in the pants to actually make that move. So this is an effective card. It's just not effective for the way I view 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups, the wish card, as they call it. I like to see a feeling of having it all, and I love like a smugness. I want to see smugness and a feeling of having it all. So for me, my very favorite, you might not even be able to see smugness the way that I do in this card, but my very favorite 9 of Cups is from Children of Letha, because I see the smugness here. I see it. This octopus looks smug to me, and I love it. It's everything. This card makes me so happy to look at. And then my least favorite Nine of Cups is from Hush Tarot. And I actually like this image, and I can work with it as a Nine of Cups. But again, because I'm a numerology girl, the fact that there's not 9 cups, it's just one, this looks more like an Ace of Cups to me. In fact, I would have preferred this as the Ace of Cups in this deck. Oh god, am I going to pull a Boho Tarot and like cut all, like re-associate all the cards in that deck like she did with the Nicoletta Ciccoli Tarot? Oh shit. That's a project. That could be a thing that I do. I can see that happening because I do love the imagery in Hush Tarot. I just don't like where it's associated. Okay, 10 of Cups. I want to see beautiful family love energy, and it doesn't need to be a literal family like this. It can be like family of animals or just a family vibe, like in the Sasarai Bito Tarot, the 10 of Cups in that is one of my favorites. It's just like a campfire. I'm totally cool with a campfire in the 10 of Cups. It's, you know, 2 fire energy overall to be my very favorite, but I do like that. That is definitely a 10 of Cups moment to me, sitting around a campfire. I'll just tell a brief story because why not make this video even longer? At my wedding, we had it in my backyard at the time. And it was, you know, weddings are weird. They're stressful, they're strange. To me, it felt really strange to like have people witnessing something that was just about me and my person, you know? It felt weird. The actual ceremony felt really strange to me. And if I had it to do over again, I probably would just get married at a courthouse and then have a party afterwards. But the actual ceremony felt strange to me to have so many people there. But my very favorite part of the entire night was hours later when almost everyone had gone home. It was just like, you know, me and my 8 closest friends around a fire. And that is when it felt like, that's when it felt like a real 10 of Cups moment. You know, that's when it felt like, okay, I'm married now. And these are the people that should have been here all along. It's a smaller group of people sitting around the campfire at the end of the night. Anyway, haven't thought about that in a while. But this is my very favorite 10 of Cups from Children of Letha because I just think this image is so beautiful and the colors are so gorgeous, and it makes me so happy to look at it, and I want to feel that sort of total community happiness when I look at a 10 of Cups. I definitely get that with Children of Letha. And my least favorite again is from Hush Tarot, and that's basically because, again, this is a pretty image, but it's just 1 cup and a couple of cranes. Like, love this image. But again, this would be a good 2 of Cups, actually. Oh god, you guys. I'm just like already exhausted from like thinking about how to reassociate that entire deck if I was going to do it. But let's not think about that right now. Page of Cups. With the Page of Cups, I love this flamboyant outfit. I love the sort of the 0 on the hat. I don't know if that's there to be a 0 or not, but it gives me very like Fool energy, which is great for a Page of Cups. I love the idea of an overflowing cup. I just, it's weird because like when I think of Page of Cups, I want to see overflowing cup. I want to see like a lack of control in the emotions. I want to see flamboyant attire. However, the one that I chose as my favorite, just because that's what I was feeling at the moment, is Tarot of the Cat People. And this person looks, you know, way more in control of their emotions than I would typically like to see a Page of Cups. But I just think this image is so beautiful. I like it a lot. So, hey, whatever. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. You know? My least favorite Page of Cups, and I don't actually like dislike this card, but it's from Raven's Prophecy. I don't actually dislike it, but it just doesn't say Page of Cups to me. It's a nest with 3 eggs in it. And also, whenever I glance at this card, it's like a Rorschach thing, what I see actually is like the snout of a lion. Sorry if I just made that so that you can't unsee it. I see a snout of a lion, and then I think, ooh, is this a strength card? Ooh, is this like a wand card? No, it's Page of Cups. And it hasn't been able, I haven't had this deck that long, but I just haven't been able to, like, at a glance, see this as the Page of Cups until I read, oh, okay, it's Page of Cups. Why is this Page of Cups? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Not that it needs to, but... Knight of Cups. My Michael is Knight of Cups. So I am kind of picky about Knight of Cups. I want to see romance and an overflow. I think the Knight of Cups doesn't have control over his emotions either. I think of the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups as almost the same, except there's that added element of, like, the Knight of Cups is supposed to be sort of a Casanova, sort of a super romantic figure. Very, like, selfless, would do anything for you, but also so into their own emotions. It's that push and pull. It's a Pisces card. It's that push and pull of, like, being very selfless, but in 2 minutes later being the most selfish. It's that push and pull of those two things. So my very favorite Knight of Cups is from Marigold Tarot, because even though he's a skull, he's just a skull, he still manages to find a way to cry. And that's very, I hope that doesn't sound like disdainful, because I have a lot of love for that energy, obviously, since I married a Knight of Cups. But it's very poignant to me. Like, you find a way to cry even if you're only a skull. When you're the Knight of Cups, you can figure it out. My least favorite is from Darkwood Tarot, and I've said this before, it's just because this person doesn't look like somebody I would trust, and I do trust a Knight of Cups, even though they have, like, that over-romantic, overly emotional quality. Like, it can take a while to really, like, wrap your brain around a Knight of Cups, but I've been with mine for, like, 15 years now, so this person doesn't look like somebody that I could ever trust, and that's just, I don't think that was intended with this card. It's just my own personal, like, visceral reaction to this particular figure. Queen of Cups. I like mermaid energy in the Queen of Cups. Like, it doesn't actually have to be a mermaid, but I want to feel mermaid energy, if that makes sense. And I like... Let's see. I also think of the Queen of Cups as the fortune teller. So I'm also cool with seeing her as a tarot reader or a fortune teller of some kind. However, I'm not showing you any images that represent that. I don't even think I have any Queen of Cups. I think if I was just making my own deck, the Queen of Cups would be a fortune teller of some kind with mermaid energy. Oh, my kitten wants to come in here. Oh, you know you're going to hate it if I let you in here. Okay. She's giving very pained cries right now. So my very favorite Queen of Cups is from Children of Letha, because we get the mermaid energy. She's actually all covered up, so you don't know if she's a mermaid or not, but you can imagine her one if you want. And then we also have this gorgeous, like, I think this is a sea lion, and she's got a tail. So you could even imagine that this is her tail, or this is the sea lion's tail. Either way you want to see it. And I like how gothic she looks. I just think she's so beautiful. So beautiful. And I like the moon in the background, because this is a Cancer card, so it makes sense to be set at night. And then my least favorite Queen of Cups is again from Hush Tarot, because I don't like this image, actually. I see now that there's like a sun and a moon in the background, which is interesting. I could see this, actually looking at it closer, I can see this as this person could possibly be a Cancer sign, but I don't like the proportions because her fingers look so small next to her face that it just, like, it distracts me. Again. I feel like an asshole sometimes. Okay. King of Cups. I actually really like the RWS King of Cups. I like his colors. I like his, like, little mermaid feet. I mean, it's probably supposed to be like some kind of armory shoes or something. I like this little fish in the corner. I like it. I like the like green and blue waves. I really like this image. But what I ultimately, my favorite Kings of Cups are gothic looking. I want to see like a very, like, he's in control of his emotions, but he's also, you know, a hint of darkness, you know. So my favorite is from Children of Letha again. And we got this gorgeous luxuriating purple walrus here, which I love. And I love that he definitely looks very gothic to me. And then my least favorite, again, from Hush Tarot. I mean, this works as a King of Cups. Honestly, this isn't one of the ones that, like, doesn't look like what it should be. But I don't like that the liquid is, like, bursting up from the cup. That's more of a page or knight energy to me. I think that the emotions should be controlled in a King of Cups. Let's move on to the swords. Again, with aces, I just want to see a hand coming out of a divine cloud. Bonus points if you get some, like, landscaping in the background. That's just how I feel about pretty much every ace card. I don't actually like I said before, crowns. I don't see why a crown needs to be in the Ace of Swords. And I think this sword looks really short, like proportion-wise. It just kind of hurts my eyes. And I think the reason why I don't like the crown is also because it's just hovering at the end of the sword. And, like, I guess it's fine because it's, like, coming from, it's a hand from the divine, so the crown can hover if it wants. But it just also feels like you're being offered. It almost feels like, okay, here's what it is. You know that whole, I forget what it's called, but like in monarchies, they feel like they have been handed their crown from God. This almost feels like that. Like you're being handed a sword and a crown. You're being chosen by God. I don't know. It just feels too Christian to me. So I like that with Modern Witch, the crown is not in the image. And oh, I just love the colors too. The pink and sort of this gray is kind of even like slightly purple tinged gray in the background. And the purple sword and having a hand of color coming from the divinity also. I just love that Ace of Swords. My least favorite again from Hush Tarot, because again, this just doesn't say Ace of Swords to me at all. At all. This could be a Chariot card. God damn it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Two of Swords. I am pretty picky, as I've said many times before, about the Two of Swords. I want to see two crossed swords. I want to see the blindfold. I want to see the moon in the background. And I want to see sort of protective body posture from the waist up and open body posture from the waist down. I like that she is very relaxed, but she just needs to protect her heart and her head right now. She needs to shut out all of y'all's stupid ass opinions so she can figure out her own intuition. So my very favorite is just from RWS. So I just chose I have the Centennial, like 10 version of the card. So I just chose that because the RWS is just perfect for me. It has everything. I love the sort of openness of the sky, but then you also have the water. You have like a sort of upper, middle, and lower world you have all three tiers here. And this is a Libra card, and this is a Sacred Boundaries card, and I love it so much. Also, can we just say, I love Pixie's sigil. Can we just say, like, if you're an artist doing a tarot deck and you want to sign each piece of your artwork, create your own fucking sigil, because then it'll look beautiful. It'll still show that it is your art without you having to see someone's name, you know? That's just a pet peeve of mine personally. Please ignore me. Obviously, anyone, art is subjective. You can do whatever you fucking want with your own artwork. These are all my opinions, and that is all they are. They don't carry any weight except for what I personally like and don't like in art and tarot. Okay. So my least favorite Two of Swords, surprise, surprise, is from Hush Tarot. Again, because numerologically, we have 1 human face and 3 cat faces. So that's not 2. That doesn't even, no, that's not 2 at all. And also, I don't understand how this is a Two of Swords in any world. I just don't. I don't understand it. I'm trying to think, what would this be? This could be a Three of Swords? I don't know. I don't know what I would... Let's not take up extra time thinking about that right now, okay? Three of Swords. Most Three of Swords are just going to do this exact thing. 3 swords and a heart with some turmoil in the background or something. Rain clouds. I'm fine with that. It's a very effective image. It's very simple and effective. But what I want to see in a Three of Swords... I guess it's hard to decide what I want to see, because it's like I'm kind of tired of seeing 3 swords and a heart, because that's what almost all of my decks have, is the 3 of Swords. However, I also kind of, even though I'm tired of it, it feels weird when I don't see it. So like, I don't know. I don't really know what I want out of 3 of Swords, I guess. So I do appreciate when the heart is an anatomical heart. Although I'm totally fine with it just being a simple heart like that too. But why I chose Dark Wood Tarot's 3 of Swords as my favorite is because of the addition of the spider. Because it brings Kali energy in for me, because I think of... I don't know where I got this, but I heard someone say once, when they see a spider, they just remind themselves that it's just Kali saying hi. And so that stuck with me. So when I see a spider, I think of Kali, and I do think that Kali is very 3 of Swords energy. It's very much getting out what doesn't work for you in your life. And I guess one thing I do like to see in a 3 of Swords is I like to see black blood coming out the bottom, because it shows that what is bleeding out is something that's ready to go. So I do like seeing that, even though it's very subtle in this particular image. I do like seeing that, and there are several cards that do that. My least favorite, surprise, surprise, from Hush Tarot. And again, it's really just because I don't see how this is a 3 of Swords. First of all, we only have 2 birds here pecking at her. If there were 3, I could probably work with this as a 3 of Swords. Four of Swords. I want to see, again, with 4s, I want to see stability. I want to see calm. I want to see meditation. Yeah. I don't really like the literal, like, death 4 of Swords. It's fine, but it's just not my favorite. So my favorite is from Moonchild, because it's very peaceful. There's a lot of meditation cards in Moonchild, and sometimes it makes sense for the card and sometimes it doesn't, but in this case it very much does. I love the huge moon in the background. I love that she's kind of weighing energies in her hand, you know, because it's a Libra card. 4 of Swords is a Libra card, so she's weighing energies and she's taking time out to decide what to do next. And my least favorite is from that 90s tarot, simply because I just feel like if you could have put a little bit of symbolism, even if all you're going to have is 4 swords, you could have put them in this position, you know, 3 on top pointing down and 1 sideways. You could have easily done that, and I just think it was a missed opportunity. Five of Swords. With Five of Swords, I want to see isolation and self-harm. Because I think of Five of Swords as being a very much self-sabotaging kind of card. So my favorite, as I've said before, is from Darkwood Tarot. Because to me, seeing a woman attacking another woman with swords is internalized misogyny, I think. That's just what it is. My least favorite is just from the RWS. Because to me, this is more sinister. Like, he's like, I betrayed you, ha! And I don't know. I mean, I guess she looks sinister too. So I'm kind of like knocking this card for the same thing that this card is doing. But I'm just like putting myself in the interiority of that character a little bit more. I see myself in her a little bit more, so that's why I skew towards that. But this one is just, I feel like this imagery kind of doesn't say what I think it should say. I don't know. This imagery to me is relishing too much in the process, I guess. She at least looks a little bit more upset at what she's doing. Six of Swords. Y'all know this is an important one for me. I want to see swords in the boat. I do want to see swords in the boat, because I think if you're taking the swords out of the boat, you're sinking, and that's part of the process. I want to see more tumultuous waters heading towards calmer waters. Like, pretty much everything that's in the RWS I want to see. I want to see, like, more than one figure. I want to see calmer waters in the future. I actually don't need to see more than one figure. I would be totally fine with a person rowing their own boat away, actually. But I like the traditional imagery, all the symbolism involved. So I picked Modern Witch as my favorite, because it does all of the RWS symbolism. My least favorite, and I actually like this image, but I just don't think it's a good Six of Swords. It's like, I like the idea of taking your snake for a walk, but I don't see how it's Six of Swords. And it's one of those that's like, sometimes in Moon Power, it's hard to tell, because there's, just like with the RWS, there's just a 6 at the top, and then you have to find the swords to see that it's a sword card if you're not used to the deck yet. So this one took me a long time to like remember, oh yeah, this is 6 of Swords. She's taking her snake for a walk, because the only swords are just on this little belt here. So you can find it, you can see what it is, but it just takes a second to find that. And I don't know, I just like I like the cards to be instantly recognizable. That's just, again, it's part of my numerology obsession, I guess. I want the cards to be instantly recognizable for what they are, especially when you're first getting to know a deck. It helps you feel more invited to work with it, to me. Seven of Swords. Okay, you guys, I have had moments with the Seven of Swords where I feel like I get it, but I don't really get it. And lately, I had another layer of realization. So with the Seven of Swords, you don't know if this person is stealing swords or if this person is taking back what is rightfully theirs. And that has always confused me, but I just realized that's the point. You don't know if you can trust the person in the Seven of Swords. And you're never going to know. And you have to accept the fact that you're not going to know. With this particular situation, whenever you pull the Seven of Swords, either it's a person that you don't know if you can trust or not, or it's a situation that you don't know if you can trust or not. And I think maybe the presence of this card is letting you know that you're never going to know. So you're going to have to either make peace with the fact that you're never going to know, or you're going to need to get out of that situation, because you can't. You have to ask yourself, can I handle the fact that I'm never going to be able to fully know if this person is trustworthy? Am I going to be able to handle the fact that I'll never truly know if the situation is truly on the up and up? I think that's the point of the Seven of Swords. And I think I just recently figured it out. So my favorite Seven of Swords is from Shadowscapes. And I've said this before, but the reason is because This creature right here reminds me of someone that betrayed me. Someone that is a person that I had to leave behind because I would never ultimately know. I mean, you never really know what's in someone's head. You never really know what a person's actually thinking and going through. And you have to make peace with that. And some people, if I feel like I really can't get a solid sense of who you are, for me personally, if I don't feel authenticity coming from someone, I'm not going to be comfortable with them ever. Ever. And that doesn't necessarily mean I don't ever want to be around them if I can't feel entirely comfortable with them, but it's a push and pull with me. Seven of Swords is a journey for me. So my least favorite is Hush Tarot, because how is a bird that looks like it's perched on something midair, which doesn't make any sense, which hurts my brain, carrying away a bunch of keys? How is that a Seven of Swords? At least there's 7 keys, but yeah, doesn't work for me. I do appreciate with Hush Tarot, because the imagery is so different from any other tarot deck, that like if it works for you, it probably works really well for you. You know, if you see the tarot in a very non-RWS way, or maybe Hush Tarot is like your first deck and you really like it and you create your own tarot meanings based on the Hush Tarot. Like, don't let me take anything away from you right now if you're a person like that. Like, and it might be triggering for you to see that I'm choosing so many Hush Tarot cards as my least favorite. That, I mean, don't worry about how I view tarot. How you view it is what matters. That's why I would love to see people do a VR to this, but I know it's not going to happen because it's such a fucking time-consuming project. 8 of Swords. Because I basically learned tarot through Wild Unknown and RWS simultaneously, I do see the 8 of Swords as being sort of, you have put yourself in a victim mentality. You have made yourself feel as if you are trapped when you're actually not. You can get out. You can easily get out of this situation. So I do want to see a sense of you can easily get out of this situation in the 8 of Swords. It doesn't have to be this exact symbolism, but just so I get that feeling. So my favorite is from Darkwood Tarot. I especially appreciate this one is because it has pretty much the traditional imagery in a way, but you also have all these animal companions. So this vulture up here, is this vulture going to help her or hurt her? You don't know. These rats down here, I feel like they're definitely helpful. There's no question about that. They're helpful. Because rats are good. Rats are always good, right? I know a lot of people probably don't agree with that. But I just really like it. My least favorite 8 of Swords is from Raven's Prophecy, and that's just because this person doesn't look like they're willfully putting themselves in this situation. They're being grabbed by someone, and that doesn't look like I could easily get out of this moment to me. Nine of Swords. I've said before, like, I don't need the, like, up in the middle of the night feeling in Nine of Swords. What I would prefer to see a difficult situation, and I'm fine with seeing anxiety, but I would also like to see I would like to see a way out of that anxiety. So my very favorite is Shadowscapes, because I really like that this person has gone through many battles, and once they have overcome those battles, they've gotten the swords tattooed onto their chest. So they have 8 swords tattooed on their chest. They're holding the 9th sword because this is the battle that is ahead. They're about to take flight and go into this abyss and fight that, like, last boss battle. And is it anxiety inducing? Yes. Is it a difficult situation they're about to head into? Yes, but I also feel like they got this. I love that card so much. It's definitely, I just recently realized that it's my favorite Nine of Swords. It definitely is. My least favorite, again, is just from that 90s tarot, basically just because you easily could have, since we're so used to seeing these horizontal swords up at the top of the card, you could have easily done that with this. I mean, they are still kind of in that staggered. There's in sort of the same pattern. I don't actually dislike this card as a Nine of Swords. It's fine. It's just my least favorite out of the 23 decks that I have and like. Again, I like to point that out. 10 of Swords. I want to see like rock bottom, but hope. RWS doesn't do that for me. This person looks dead. DED, dead. So I want to see some hope in a 10 of Swords. And Darkwood is my favorite because I really do see that. To me, she looks like she's floating. She looks like she's kind of in ecstasy. She looks like she's about to pull all those swords out and walk off with a real power walk, you know? Yeah, I think this is beautiful. My least favorite 10 of Swords is just anytime it looks like you're DED dead. So I picked Wild Unknown as my least favorite. It was kind of a tie between a few different ones. Anytime it's that sort of total hopelessness, and this is definitely, I can totally work with this card. I don't hate this card, but it's this creature is not gonna come through this. If you got a sword through your eyeballs, you're not coming out of it, you know? And I don't like that feeling of total hopelessness. Page of Swords. I'm not sure if I have a lot of specifics with the Page of Swords. Yeah, so I just basically picked one that I just really like, which is this Page of Swords from Children of Letha. I'm totally fine with seeing the Page of Swords as like a writer. However, because I do think of the Page of Swords as like a person starting like journaling, or a person like starting writing a book, or like at a typewriter or something. I could see that as being a good Page of Swords. However, I chose Santa Muerte as my least favorite Page of Swords. And I think it's partially because of what the person's wearing, and partially also because this person, I don't know, this person just, to me, reads as an older person, like more of a King of Swords. I think I just don't see that sort of like beginner energy. And I don't know if I can articulate why. I actually don't dislike this image. I just think of it, I think this could be, I guess I just wish this was the king, honestly. Knight of Swords. With Knight of Swords, I want to see some serious ass movement. The Knight of Swords to me is the swoop in and take care of shit knight. And I want to see movement. So my favorite is from Wild Unknown, because that is a very movement-based card to me. And seeing owls in the court cards in the Wild Unknown, I really like that choice. My least favorite, guess what? From Hush Tarot. I think there's just a lot, there's just too much going on in this card. It feels too sinister to me. I'm just kind of overstimulated by this card. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to, like, I feel like if Jeremy Hush saw this, he'd be so sad, and I don't want that. Like, I love his art. I'm so drawn to that deck. There's so much great animal energy in that deck. I just haven't figured out how to work with it yet. I'm starting to think I should have just done my favorites instead of showing my least favorites. This is just supposed to be a visual representation of what I look for in the visual symbolism in each tarot card. It's supposed to be just sort of a discussion on how I view each card's symbolism. That's all. I don't want anyone to feel bad if I'm choosing decks that they love as my least favorite or vice versa. I don't want anybody to feel bad ever. Okay. Okay. But I'm doing this. I've spent way too long figuring out how to do this project. I gotta do it. Okay, guys. Queen of Swords. I want to see a direct gaze. I want to see a badass bitch. I would love to see some cloud movement. I'd love to see a bird. My favorite Queen of Swords is from Shadowscapes. I feel like this isn't entirely what I want in my favorite. Like, I feel like the Queen of Swords is a little more badass looking than this chick is, although she is badass. But what I really need is a direct gaze. It doesn't have to be directly at me. It's fine if it's direct towards the right, like a lot of Queen of Swords seem to be. I do like to see an actual weapon, so I like that she has one. I like that she's sort of sending these butterflies out from her fingers. I like that she has like some kind of, like, it almost looks like a white peacock or something perched on her shoulder. Or maybe it's just like a swan or something. I don't know. I really like this Queen of Swords. My least favorite is from Santa Muerte, and I think she doesn't look direct. You know, there's not a direct gaze, and that's kind of a deal breaker for me in a Queen of Swords, I guess. And no animal companions. Like, in general, I'd like to see animal companions in every court card, and that's just, again, that's just me. King of Swords. Again, I want to see a direct gaze. I want to see control. But I'm not super picky. Like, for me, if I were making my own deck, King of Swords would be Giles from Buffy. So if I get bonus points, if I get some Giles energy. So I chose as my favorite King of Swords from Wild Unknown, because I feel like if Giles were an animal, he would be this type of owl. I don't know what this type of owl is called, but it's, you know, like the owl from Winnie the Pooh is very Giles energy to me, and so this is a perfect King of Swords. Again, my least favorite is from Santa Muerte. I apparently just don't like the swords. I especially don't like the swords court cards in Santa Muerte for some reason. And I don't necessarily dislike this card, but the sort of like military vibes that I'm getting here is just triggering for me personally. Ace of Pentacles. Again, just want a hand come out of a cloud, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. I like to see this sort of like garden moment down here. So I picked Dark Wood as my favorite because you have, I think this is a superior garden moment too, because you have the tree and the pumpkins and you have this archway still, and you've got more of a defined path. This is just a beautiful Ace of Pentacles. I really like it. And sort of the vines going around her hand. I love that. Least favorite. Hey, look, it's a hand, but what does it have to do with pentacles? I don't know. There's a bird and a key. Yeah. That was Hush Tarot, by the way. Oh God, I feel so bad for like almost every one of those is... Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Two of Pentacles. Not super picky about the Two of Pentacles. Seeing just two pentacles works for me. Seeing them inside a limniscate and sort of, I do like to feel a little bit of a balancing energy, but I don't have to see the limniscate. And I like sort of a cheekiness to it. Like, you're on top of shit, you're getting your shit together, but you're also not taking life too seriously. I feel like this person's like clothing suggests that they're not taking life too seriously. So my very favorite Two of Pentacles is from Halloween Tarot, because I get very Harley Quinn vibes from this. So it gives you the not taking life too seriously, balancing of the Two Pentacles. And who is this back here? I think this is the first time I've noticed this. Is this like a Loch Ness monster back here. Oh my god, that makes this card even better to me. I'm gonna choose to see that as a Loch Ness monster, even though it doesn't totally look like it. Oh, I like it. Okay, so my least favorite Two of Pentacles is from Santa Muerte, and it's the only reason is because this reminds me of Two of Cups energy. This doesn't personally work for me as a Two of Pentacles, but I totally see why this choice was made, and I bet this really works well for some people, just not for me. Three of Pentacles. So teamwork, obviously, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But I feel like I don't really have very specific. I think I just want to see the Three Pentacles in a triangular pattern, and how that's done can, be, I like a lot of different Three of Pentacles cards, I guess. So I picked as my favorite, though, because I feel like I learned what Three of Pentacles is through Wild Unknown. The idea that you need these three different energies to traverse this mountain. I like how simple it is. I think I prefer a simpler depiction of the Three of Pentacles. And this one's definitely my favorite. Least favorite from Hush Tarot. Because this, to me, looks like a Three of Cups. Okay, my phone almost died. That's how long this video is. Okay, sorry. I don't know if the shot just changed. I think I bumped into the table. So, Four of Pentacles. Again, with the fours, I just want to see a lot of stability in the fours. I don't need this sort of miserly quality that you see in the RWS. Like, for me, the Four of Pentacles is a more positive card than I think people typically interpret it. I see the Four of Pentacles as being very financially stable, and you're saving money, and you're doing the best you can. And yeah. So my favorite Four of Pentacles is from Marigold Tarot. I really love all the hands and the rings suit in the Marigold Tarot. And this, to me, like the hand gestures, it really feels kind of like a dancerly card. It does feel like, I mean, it's weird that like I get financial stability from looking at this image, but I do. I don't even know how to articulate it, but I do. Yeah. Now that I'm looking, I don't know, like, why is there a sword on that person's arm? I don't know, but whatever. It feels stable to me, this card. My least favorite Four of Pentacles is from Santa Muerte Tarot, because there's probably a different way to interpret this. But to me, this card looks like Bridezilla. This card looks like someone that like is completely taking over a situation and being very selfish, and it feels like there's a little bit of misogyny coming through in this card. That may not be the intention of the artist. That may not be, yeah, it may not be the intention of the artist, but that's what I read from this, and it makes me really cranky. So Five of Pentacles. So again, like, I get that this is the help me I'm poor card, as I used to call it. I get that this is like, you've gone through some shit. This is a scarcity mentality. I want to see that it is a scarcity mentality. Like actually the RWS Five of Pentacles doesn't really work for me because it doesn't look very hopeful. I mean, I get that they've arrived at ostensibly a place that's going to take them in. So I can work with the Five of Pentacles in the RWS, but I actually prefer more psychological Five of Pentacles. So like this from Shadowscapes is my favorite Five of Pentacles, because to me, if she would just look up she would see that the only pentacle that is dark is the one that she's like choosing to live within the energy of this darkened pentacle that has gone bad. But if she would look up, she would see all of this hope. She would see this beautiful butterfly that's trying to tell her, hey, look up, look up. There is hope. Like, I've really come to view the Five of Pentacles as being like kind of an Eight of Swords mentality of like, you are putting yourself in the situation. You're not actually as poor as you say you are. You just suck at saving money, and you can change that. Like, it's kind of a victim mentality card, I think, and that is really portrayed here. My least favorite Five of Pentacles is from Darkwood Tarot. And I've said this before, this is basically just because of the way I personally am feeling when looking at this card. To me, what I'm looking at is someone stalking someone. To me, this person looks like they're trying to get away from this person, and this person is like lumbering behind her and like refusing to let her go. And I realize that's probably not the intention of the artist. That's just my own shit that I got to deal with. But that's what I see when I see this card, and that's not a Five of Pentacles energy to me. Six of Pentacles. I hate this Six of Pentacles card. It's my least favorite. Again, and I've said this many times, but the idea that someone is lording over people, begging and weighing out like how much I can give you, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. I don't like it. You know what? I just realized a different way that I could see this, and this is probably the way most people have been seeing it all along. Maybe what this person is weighing is not how much can I give you while not giving you too much. Maybe this person is weighing, I'm going to give to both of you, but I'm going to give to both of you equally. So maybe I'll just choose to see it that way from now on. Whenever I see these sort of hierarchical looking, I don't like it when it looks like a hierarchy, when it's someone above other people. And I said that a bunch of times. But my favorite Six of Pentacles, and I have a few favorites that I really, really like, but this one is definitely my favorite, from Sasarai Bito, because it's totally equal. What this person is giving, this person is also receiving, and vice versa. It's completely equal. I like a balance in the Six of Pentacles. I like a feeling of giving and receiving, and the energy that is being given is also being received, and it is totally equal, and that is what I like to see in a Six of Pentacles, and this is like perfect representation of that to me. I like the sort of line of energy between them. I love it. Seven of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles is very much like a taking stock of what's going on. And I just recently, I saw a video, I can't remember whose video it was, but I saw a video where someone was talking about, I think it might have been, oh crap, Mindful Tarot. I think it might have been the Mindful Tarot channel. She was like comparing different RWS, the coloring in different RWS decks. And she was mentioning that she wants to see, like, some decks don't actually differentiate the colors. But like, it's supposed to be like some of this plant is rotting and some of it is doing well. And I never noticed that while looking at it before. So I like this idea of sort of taking a step back and figuring out what's working and not working. Yeah, I like that. But that being said, my favorite Seven of Pentacles from Shadowscapes doesn't really show that. I mean, I guess so, because she's deciding which ones are ripe enough to put in her basket. But I just love this image so much. I love like plant vibes in a Seven of Pentacles. Plant vibes are good. My least favorite is from Moon Power Tarot, simply because I just don't get Seven of Pentacles energy here. Like, I see that she has Seven Pentacles in her hair, and she's also, things are growing on her, so it has the plant energy. But, and I don't really hate this card, but it just doesn't really work for me. Eight of Pentacles. I love the idea that, like, I think of Eight of Pentacles as a flow state. Like, you are so engrossed in your work and refining your work that nothing else exists for you. I really like that, that aspect. And I love the RWS version, particularly because I love seeing, like, this wood grain. I think is just so pretty. So I picked Modern Witch as my favorite because I love that the artist added herself in the deck, and she added herself in the deck. Lisa Sturl, the artist of Modern Witch, she added herself into the deck in, like, she didn't put herself in as a queen or like the empress or something. Like, she put herself in as someone that's working hard. And I just love that. Like, I definitely want to see work ethic in an Eight of Pentacles. And I think that both of these cards really symbolize that. My least favorite is from Moon Power. I get that, like, you get sort of a sense of progress with sort of the placement of the pentacles on her skirt and the fact that she's reading a book. So she's progressing through a book. But, and maybe she's completely engrossed in that book. So that makes sense as an Eight of Pentacles. Again, numerologically speaking, love the, like, nod to Hitchhiker's Guide, of course. But 4 + 2 is 6, not 8. So it hurts my brain, and I also just don't see how reading a book isn't work ethic. Like, sometimes it can feel like you really have to dedicate yourself to reading a book, but it shouldn't be that hard, and it definitely isn't that hard with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's a fun book to get through. Of course, that's just my opinion, but yeah, it's just my least favorite. It doesn't really say work ethic to me. Nine of Pentacles. I definitely like to see a bird of prey in Nine of Pentacles and someone just resplendent in their environment. Doesn't have to be a garden, but just resplendent luxury, resplendentness. Also bonus points if you're kind of older in a Nine of Pentacles. However, I picked Sasarai Beto as my favorite Nine of Pentacles, even though she's not older. But, and you can't really see the environment that she's in, but I just really appreciate this image a lot. I like that you get to see the falcon a little bit more clearly than you can in most Nine of Pentacles cards that choose to have a falcon. My least favorite is from Raven's Prophecy, and I do like this image, but again, just numerologically speaking, this is only one rose. This could be an Ace of Pentacles, but to me, this is not a 9. Ten of Pentacles. To me, I see Ten of Pentacles as being a DNA card, an ancestry card, sort of a speaking to the spirits kind of card. It's, yeah, I don't have specific, I just want to get that feeling. And I can get that feeling in a lot of different ways. It's kind of abstract, that feeling for me. So a lot of different Ten of Pentacles do actually really work for me. So my very favorite is from Marigold Tarot, because I just love it. You've got the rings being held here, and then you've got the rings around. It's abstract, but it really does it. It really does it for me. And like, the numerology is so consistent, because not only do you get the 10 rings, but you also get the 10 fingers on the 2 hands. And like, it just sings to my, I'm not even a math person. Like, why am I obsessed with numerology? But I am. My least favorite is Hush Tarot, again, because this just, chick sitting on a bridge. This could be like a 6 of Cups, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, my puppy is howling. Page of Pentacles. I want to see student energy in Page of Pentacles. Love to see a backpack or someone studying. This isn't it for me, so it's my least favorite, actually. Again, it's the clothing. It doesn't look, I don't know, for me, maybe this makes sense as far as like the clothing of the time when this deck was made, but for me, this doesn't look like a student outfit. I don't know. That could just be me though. But my very favorite is from Tarot of the Cat People, because this chick she's studying. This is some heavy study aesthetic right here. And she's got her cats and she's got her comfy chair and she's like getting into it with her awesome 70s lamp. I just love this. It gives me study energy, and that's what I like about a Page of Pentacles. That's what I personally see as a Page of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. For me, the Knight of Pentacles is very grounded and very slow moving and very deliberate. So I actually really do like the RWS, because I don't want to see movement in a Knight of Pentacles. That being said, I'm seeing that the one that I picked has movement in it as my favorite, but whatever. As far as I just want to see very grounded, very methodical, very slow moving. So my actual favorite Knight of Pentacles might be from Modern Witch Tarot. Hold on, I'm going to just pull it out real quick. No, it's not actually, because I remember why I didn't choose this one. Because I don't like the look on her face. She looks bored. She doesn't look determined. She looks bored. And that just is the way that I'm reading it. But yeah, that's why I didn't pick that. But I picked as my favorite Knight of Pentacles from Dark Wood Tarot. Even though there is movement in the owl, he does feel really grounded to me. He feels stable. He feels trustworthy. That's another thing, that I want to trust a Knight of Pentacles. And I do feel like I can trust this person. Again, that's just a personal, looking at that person, I feel like I can trust them. It makes no sense. You can't really verbalize why, but personally, that image works for me. My least favorite Knight of Pentacles is the Olsen twins from That 90s Tarot. I don't know a lot about them, so maybe they do make sense as Knight of Pentacles, but I just don't. In court cards, I don't really want to see more than one human figure representing. And that's just really based on nothing except my own personal preference. And for me, when I look at the Olsen twins, I don't know. I don't have a good reaction to them. And it's based on nothing except like, celebrity bullshit. But I just don't have a good reaction to them particularly. So it doesn't work for me. Queen of Pentacles. I want to see nature in a Queen of Pentacles. And I want to see a rabbit. I know it's very hard to tell in this card. I want to see a rabbit animal companion, and I want to see a lot of nature. And I really do think of Queen of Pentacles as very Poison Ivy energy, very Beyonce, very Poison Ivy. Beyonce's more Empress, but yeah, Poison Ivy is my Queen of Pentacles. And the fact that Dark Wood got it so right, like this is absolutely my favorite Queen of Pentacles. Shadowscapes has a really good Queen of Pentacles. I love the Queen of Pentacles from Modern Witch as well. In fact, because I have it out right now, let's just show it just for fun. Look at her. Let's actually just put her right here. Isn't she? Oh, I just love it. I love it so much. Yes, love them both. My least favorite Queen of Pentacles is, again, from That 90s Tarot. I don't have anything against Reese Witherspoon. I just don't see her as having the kind of presence that a Queen of Pentacles should have. She doesn't feel like an earth sign to me. Maybe more of a sword or a wand. I don't know. I have nothing against her. but I just don't personally see her as a Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Last fucking card. We made it, guys. I'm actually surprised that this video is coming in at under 2 hours. King of Pentacles, again, very similar energy to the Queen of Pentacles for me. I want to see, you know, a dude resplendent and stable, and like, I want to see nature, and I'm throwing a bone to Hush Tarot. I'm picking it as my favorite, even though like there are others that I like just as well as this card. But again, I love seeing, this gives me very Owl from Winnie the Pooh vibes, and that works for me as a King of Pentacles for sure. So I picked it as my favorite. So Hush Tarot got a favorite because I felt so bad for, yeah. My least favorite King of Pentacles is from Sasarai Bito, and this is completely a personal bias. I don't like the composition of this image. That's all it is, honestly. It's a little too simple for the rest of the deck, I think. It just kind of doesn't feel consistent with the rest of that particular deck, and that's really the only reason. So that is it for my favorites and least favorites. We made it. Yeah, this was a fun project, even though it was super time consuming. I hope that you enjoyed it to some extent. I really just wanted to have, like I said before, a discussion about what I personally like and don't like to see in the symbolism of each particular card. And again, these are all just my personal interpretations of tarot. You will likely disagree with me on a lot of them, and that's totally cool, because tarot is whatever you say it is. It's a personal, very subjective thing. So I would love to see if you guys, even if you just like if you want to do a VR, but you just want to pick like your top 10 cards that you really care about the symbolism and show your favorite and least favorite from your collection. I totally understand if you don't want to do the whole fucking tarot like I just did, but I'm a completist in that way. I get very focused. I was very Eight of Pentacles with this particular project. I had a work ethic. I've spent many, many hours on this, and I'm not done yet because now I got to edit and upload. So you guys probably won't even see this particular video until like Saturday. But anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching.